If you enjoy watching lighting, please stay tuned. I'm about to show you how you can make it in your garage. Here we have one of my favorite projects, which is the traditional buck-controlled QCW double resonant Tesla coil. So here are some of the components. Here's a large capacitor, 15,000 microfarads, which stores rectified mains. Then we have the asynchronous buck and the buck modulator or buckverter. Then we have the UD 2.7, which you can see right there. Then we have a double full bridge, and I have boards for this that I put together. And we have warp 2 IGBT switches on that double full bridge. We have a feedback, and then we have our resonant coil over there. Resonant capacitor, which connects to a primary. I'm using relatively thin wire. It's like 16 gauge wire here to somewhat reduce the amount of current flowing. And here we have on the blue trace is the buck output, which is that ramp, and the yellow trace is the current flowing in the primary coil. And the output is what you see over there from the tip of the breakout point. For this experiment, we're running about 100 volts AC on the variac. And these arcs are straight because the frequency is greater than 300 kilohertz, and the ramp also tends to make the arc straighter. The other thing about the output of the Tesla coil from this setup is that the noise level is very low with a quiet thumping sound. The nice thing about having the buck modulator is you can keep the ramp slope the same and change the width or amount of on time. Here I'm going up on the voltage on the variac to about, I guess it's 140 volts, something like that, AC. And as you can see, there's significant growth in the length of the arc. And you can see that the current curve, which is that yellow curve, is starting to have a more curved upwards appearance as the current increases in the primary circuit, in the primary coil. Now I'm turning down the voltage, and notice how the current curve is starting to flatten out without that upward increase. And the arc length has decreased quite a bit, even with small decreases in voltage. And now it's totally flat as I drain off the capacitor. Now the feedback has stopped. That's because there's insufficient primary current to successfully drive the feedback from the feedback transformer. So here's the feedback transformer, as well as the overcurrent detection transformer for the UD7 board. It's a UD 2.7C board, which sits in this metal box. And 1 to 300 ratio seems to work well for the OCD as well as the feedback. But once the voltage drops too low, there is insufficient current generated to run the feedback loop. Now we're going to strike a piece of cardboard with it. It has some interesting effects when it hits the surface. It kind of like bifurcates, as you can see here. Last but not least, these kind of coils produce very strong electric fields. Notice how it lights that neon bulb sitting on the table and how brightly it lights this fluorescent tube. It really flashes on very brightly and at quite a distance from where the output is. So you can see the strong electric field surrounding these coils, so you have to be kind of careful with any sensitive electronic equipment that's located nearby to them. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, folks, and if you have any questions about this coil or want to build one yourself, just leave it down in the comments below, and hope you can build one similar to this. And definitely don't forget to check out Lone Ocean's website. He has a very, very good description about how these coils are built and how they work. Far better than what I can do in a video like this. So check that out.